Let's go! Fast! Come on!
Welcome to Faster, Farther, and Funner, the Klondike edition. This is the first of several episodes that are going to be focused on the Klondike. And today, just going to go over what the Klondike is, for those who aren't very familiar with it, and maybe you're a first-time runner. Just give a little information about how the race sort of unfolds, how to get to the start line in Skagway if you've never been, and what to do in Whitehorse once you get there, and some of the quirks along the way, like this little guy with my fingers pointing. So the Klondike is a road relay race similar to the Ragnar relays that occurs every year here in Alaska. It starts in Skagway, finishes up here in Whitehorse, Yukon Territory. It's about 110 miles long. There are 10 legs. The distances of each leg vary, as short as 6 miles, as long as 16 miles, and it is a lot of fun. Most of the running happens during the middle of the night, which can be fun if the northern lights are out. It can also make for a long run in the dark on the Klondike Highway if the weather's not so good and the northern lights aren't out. But normally once you get over the White Pass, the weather improves significantly, and by the time you get out here to Carcross, things are looking pretty good. So I guess let's start with, how the heck do you get to Skagway? Well, if you're from Southeast Alaska or you're starting off here in Juneau, you will hop on the Alaska Ferry system, hopefully, or Alaska Marine Highway system. Hopefully the ferry you booked is the Fairweather. It is our fast ferry. It only takes like 2 hours or something like that to cruise from Auk Bay, which is where the ferry terminal is, out to Skagway. Much better than taking the LeConte, which takes 6 hours. I don't know. It takes a long time. I never take it because it takes so long. Once you get off the boat here in Skagway, you'll get dropped off by the cruise ship terminal and the railroad. And it's a little bit of a walk to town. Hopefully you have made plans to travel with your Klondike team, or that they know where to meet you once you get into town. If you're coming from Anchorage or somewhere else in Canada or Alaska, you're probably going to drive the course in reverse from Whitehorse down into Skagway. So you'll, I guess, get to do a little scouting trip. Once you're in Skagway, a lot of fun touristy stuff to do because the race doesn't start. I think the first team starts at like 6:30 p.m. So you'll probably have some time to hang out in Whitehorse. There's a few places to buy some beer and liquor because everyone likes a good party. And there's also, if you're into candy stores, I recommend the Cone Company. It is fantastic. Lots of good candy, really good fudge, and ice cream as well. So, alright, let's take a look at this map that I've been holding up here for a little bit. So, we start off here down here in Skagway where the start-finish line is. You get sent off by this really cool, the White Pass steam locomotive. Sounds the whistle for each starting wave, except for the ones after 10 p.m. So if you're in a late starting group, no train whistle. And then the first 2 legs are in the United States, with the third leg crossing over the US-Canadian border into British Columbia. This is where it gets a little tricky this year. In the past, crossing over the border has been really simple. So back to leg 3 here. Leg 3, as I said, crosses the Canadian border, or US-Canadian border, and in the past they've just allowed runners to cross the border and head on to the leg 3-4 handoff, which was great. But this year things are a little bit different. They are going to be checking passports not only for your team members who are in your support vehicle, as they always have, but they are also going to make runners stop at the border and go through a pedestrian line with their passports. So be sure to have your papers, even if you're a runner on leg 3, so that you can pass through the checkpoint quickly, because the clock is still running until you get to the leg 4 handoff. So that's just something to be aware of, to plan for. And it kind of stinks for people who might be, I don't know, out there to chase a course record, or I don't know why else. But if you're out there trying to chase a course record, obviously it's going to be a little bit slower times-wise. So you just kind of have to deal with it. And unfortunately, until that policy changes, I think that's going to be the way it is going forward. Once you're over through the checkpoint, we began enjoying all those beautiful downhill sections out to Whitehorse. Everything's net downhill from the end of leg 2. And the next big stop that people always love to talk about is Carcross. You're out there in the middle of the desert. Believe it or not, there's a desert in the Yukon. And I believe there's some sort of pastry or coffee shop or something that people love to rant and rave about. I've never stopped with my team there, so I don't know. But if you do Google search for a coffee shop in Carcross, I bet you'll find this mysterious / mythical place people talk about. And then from Carcross, it's just a 55-mile jaunt into Whitehorse. Carcross is also the start line for the ultra marathon event. There is an ultra offered, and I think there's also a youth relay that starts out of Carcross as well. So if even though registration is closed for like the full relay event, you might be able to still register for the ultra marathon. I don't know this for a fact, but maybe check on. So to find out if you can still register for that ultra marathon, or maybe register for the youth relay, just do another Google search for the Klondike International Road Relay, and you'll get to their website pretty quickly from there. I guess a quick timeline. So the first legs I think start about 6 or 6:30 p.m. With the race wrap on September 7th, so Friday, September 7th, with most teams wrapping up by about 1 p.m. September 8th at, I think it's Miles Canyon Park in Whitehorse. I don't know if that's the actual name, but I think that's what it is. I know you come out, you take the Miles Canyon trail for the leg 10. So at the finish line, they normally have like the local radio station calling out the teams. They do awards. There's also a beer garden. It's not free, it costs money, but I don't know, worth it for some people. And you'll get your t-shirts, and lots of people like to take team photos there as well. After you finished up at the finish line, maybe taking a nap in the park if the weather's real nice, there is the post-race reception, which is like a big a gala or a ball that happens in the evening. It changes locations, it seems like, every year. I know one year it was at the really cool sports complex that they have in Whitehorse, which is just phenomenal. So that's definitely something worth checking out while you're in town. They also have showers there too. So I guess the next thing to discuss here is accommodations. If you haven't already made plans for where you're going to stay in Whitehorse, and you have transportation, I would suggest Takahini Hot Springs, because it's pretty much the best place to be. Warm pools to go bathe in and enjoy and relax after your arduous run through the Yukon and British Columbia and Alaska, and it's just super nice. It's also like fully featured spa, so I mean, if you're into spas, you probably get a nice spa treatment as well. They have a campground there. That's where we'll be staying. My wife and I with our kids, and my mom's coming up so that we can have a little bit of fun while she watches our two darling toddlers. So, where else have we got here? Other accommodations are back in Whitehorse. Last year, we had made plans to stay at Takahini Hot Springs, but it didn't work out. We ended up renting a hotel room in Whitehorse last minute. It cost us $100, so it wasn't even too bad. So if you haven't made hotel reservations yet, I wouldn't start panicking. We were able to get a room the night of in Whitehorse. And then the other hot spot for camping is over by the rec center or sports complex, whatever you want to call it. There's this big sandy hill above the parking lot. Tons of people set their tents up there. Like I said, you have access to showers in the sports complex. And then there's normally like a pretty wild party that gets going in that parking lot once the sun goes down. And the post-race ball and awards banquet finishes up. So that is about it for this first episode on the Klondike International Road Relay. I'll be talking a little bit more about some of the shenanigans. Well, I'll be making a video of the shenanigans that go on this year, and then a little bit more about the sights you can see in Skagway and Whitehorse, and the stops you can make along the way. Some of the really cool trails that are out there in Whitehorse too, if you have a little bit of time to do some exploring. And I don't know, whatever else comes to mind about the Klondike. For me right now, I'm going to change and get ready to go for a sweet run over on Douglas. Someone stole my course record on the Mount Jumbo to Gastineau Meadows segment, and that's just not going to fly for me. So, gonna get changed. I'll say a few parting words, but other than that, talk to you guys later. Alright, good afternoon running enthusiasts. It is another beautiful day here in Juneau, August 5th. I think it's just a little bit after 1 p.m. and probably pushing 80 degrees, so pretty much our summers. It's about a week after the Juneau Marathon, and over here on Douglas Island, probably wondering what the heck I'm doing, and maybe I'm not, but up here to get a course record that was snuck away from me on Strava a couple weeks back. So I went for it yesterday and was able to nab the course record, but it was super weak sauce. So kept having like some SD card read errors, so I couldn't get on film, and the pace was pretty slow. So coming back out here today for a little redemption. The route is, or the Strava segment takes you from Mountain Jumbo Trailhead up to Treadwell Ditch Trail out to Gastineau Meadows. The course record was like 20 minutes. I think I did 19 yesterday. Gonna shoot for like 17 something today. So see how it goes. Sporting some New Balances today. A little bit different than where I have been. New Balance Arashis, I believe. So pretty excited for those. Well, not really. They came from oh, come on. They came from Fred Meyer. They're like the $40 clearance special. So.